Hey guys, what's up? This is Art. Well, today is Friday. And seemed to be a very, this week in my vacation perspective, I'll probably do that. I'll probably do something on that Sunday. Probably something quick. There was a couple things I wanted to talk about today, but I decided forget about it. Let me do something fun. So, I went comic book shopping today. It wasn't a very big week, but there's some things I should have looked for that I didn't think about getting. One of the big books that came out this week was Ultraman. Now, some of you might not have heard of Ultraman before, but that was a version of a Japanese superhero back in the late 60s to the now. If you have heard of it, then you know about it. Marvel had gotten a license to do Ultraman comic books, so it was supposed to come out this week, and of course today's Friday. I went to my store. They ordered 6 books. Because 2 people wanted it. 2 people put it in their pull box, which I should have did that myself, but I thought about it, no big deal. Not many people is going to get this. So there'll be tons of copies left over. The problem is after COVID-19 hit, a lot of the comic book stores started smartening up. Starting instead of like ordering 20 to 30 books of everything all the time, now they shorten their stuff. So now all of a sudden it's like they had 6 books. They had 4 books Wednesday. Today's Friday. So if I went there Wednesday afternoon, I probably could have had a chance to get it. Maybe. But anyway. And I heard that Snake Eyes has been postponed for like another month or so. So I'm like, okay, so I'm glad I missed it. Didn't get it, whatever. I did pick this one up. Venom Wraith. So now they're adding another character to the Spider-Man Venom Carnage mythos, symbiote mythos. Don't know anything about this, but it's written by Donny Cates, and Donny Cates is a very awesome writer right now. Super awesome writer. He is technically the man right now, besides Jonathan Hickman in Marvel Comics right now. Star Wars number 6. Oh, by the way, I technically just got back from the comic book store. Star Wars number 6. This is between the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi era. Luke is looking for a Jedi Master to help him study the Force. He finds one. She puts him in a death trap. So finally, this is what's going. This is the end of that one. Darth Vader number 5. As you see that little clash of Anakin and Darth Vader. It's really cool. I talked about this a couple times ago. About this group of people they figured out that Darth Vader killed Padme. That's the only other person. The only problem is Darth Vader actually did kill Padme, but he was Anakin Skywalker before he became Darth Vader. Well, he transitioning to the Darth Vader that we know and love. And it's funny, he's looking for who took his kids, which is fun. Now the thing is, like I said, I just bought these, so I haven't even read these yet. But I heard there was a new Iron Man number 1 that came out recently, and this is a wraparound cover. So it looks kind of cool. This is just the regular version. I could have got the variant version, but I'm like, why get that? Just get the regular cover. Immortal Hulk number 0. I'm kind of interested in this because this looks like there's some reprint. Yeah, there's some, like reprints of books and stuff like that. And I think this is about Bruce Banner's father about it. So I guess that's what's going on. So it's kind of weird. Batman 99, which that means next month will be issue 100, the end of Joker War, and I can actually read all of it. I can actually read all of it. For the last 6 months, I've been putting off reading anything about this because I want to read it all. I picked up this one, Thor number 3, even though it's at number 6 or 7 right now. 7 or 8, issue 8. This is a reprint. This is the 4th printing of this book. So what that means, at this moment, Thor is the one of the hottest books available. And the newest one just dropped, and I couldn't even find it at my store. Or the other store I'll go, my backup store. So now there's other store I can go to. There's another other store I can go to. But, I don't know if I want to go there. Really, I really don't know if I want to go there. I might end up having to. I might have to, but anyway. Now, the biggest thing this year is Detective Comics 1027. This is one of the variant covers. This is the Jim Lee version. There's like 20 different versions of this book. Now think about this. This is Detective Comics 1027. Detective Comics 27 is the first appearance of Batman. So Batman has been in 1,000 issues. That's what this signifies. Batman has been around for 1,000 issues. Now that's longevity. Which also means that Action Comics 1027 or 39 should be out pretty soon, if not already. Or maybe I saw it and I just didn't pick it up because I didn't realize it. Because Batman and Superman debuted pretty much in the same year. So this is the significant. So basically, you think about this. These two are the only two comic book characters that has been in their same respective comics they debuted without any relaunches whatsoever. True, there's like 40. Now, like I said, there is another. It's like this Batman book is another Batman book. But this what the main daddy of them all still to stay the same. For example, like Amazing Spider-Man has been relaunched 3 to 4 times. It had its 800 issue recently. The 800 issue of the Amazing Spider-Man, but it's not really the 800 if you keep relaunching it. If you keep relaunching it, if you say kill it off and relaunch it again with a number 1, you lose longevity. And a lot of comic book fans like myself, that was the only Marvel character that could have done it because they done it with Fantastic Four and they just relaunched it again. Daredevil was in the 60s. They relaunched him 4 or 5 times already as well. And see, like DC Comics, like Action Comics and Detective Comics are still the same Action Detective Comics, even though they might have other Superman comics and Batman comics. They may relaunch and everything else, but these two still stay the same. And DC, kudos for that. Maybe you should teach little punk ass Marvel how to do things and say, hey. Matter of fact, tell you the truth, they are teaching them a lesson. Which means that, here's the thing, Action Comics, both 1 and 2, went through, they debuted in 1939. That means they went through World War II. Marvel Comics was like Timely Comics, but that started off in about like about the 92 era as well. But the thing is, once these characters had their own books, they kept getting relaunched, canceled, relaunch, and not really canceled, but relaunch and all this other stuff, and there's no longevity. There is no longevity. Even X-Men, who started off in 1960 something, got relaunched because the new Dawn of X relaunched the whole X-Men titles all over again. So it's technically #1 again. And you look up and it's like, and here's DC doing the right thing instead of saying, So what happens, Marvel, what they did is that they said, well, relaunch it, but this is actually if we have this thing called a legacy count. So in legacy, this is 800 to 900 issues, but in actuality, it's issue 47. So I'm gonna say, that's one thing about Marvel, and at one time I wanted to write about that to Marvel. But it didn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Now what happens at one of my backup stores, I found this Amazing Spider-Man 106. Okay. Look at that. Look how much that costed. Back in the 60s. 20 cents. And of course somebody wrote over it, so it's not worth that much. It's not worth much at all. Little crink in the spine and everything else, and I got it for $10. Oh well. And it's supposed to be how his face got revealed and how he gets out of it. I don't know, but it's nice for me to catch some of these every now and then. Also, I picked up X-Men 250. Can't remember what this was about, but I remember having this back in the day, and it's kind of neat because one of my favorite ones is the next one, issue 251, has X-Men. If I remember correctly, I think that's Wolverine crucified on a cross, like an X cross. So that's why I said, okay, I think that's the one. Okay. I picked up some other stuff, some eBay auctions. Supreme was an Image comic back that was promised in the 90s, which was their version of a Superman style character, and it is signed by Merritt Michaels, who is the guy who draws this book. He didn't do the cover, but this guy named Chap did the cover, and here's supposedly Rob Liefeld's signature, supposedly. And I won this for like less than $10. Supposedly this, so if I get this graded and verified, they'll verify whether or not the signature is actually his or not. If it is, that means, hey, it might be worth something. Is it? No, because this comic is worthless. But the idea of having one of the biggest names, in the comic book history, a signed comic by him, okay, I'll try that. Not a problem. Now this next one is a happy dilemma. And I say happy dilemma. There's a reason why I say that. This one book has eluded me forever. Forever. At least 30 years, at least. This book has been eluding me for close to 30 years. Ready to see it? Wolverine number 10. This is not the first appearance of Sabretooth. Sabretooth's first appearance was in Iron Fist comics in the 70s. But this is the one book that supposedly originally ties Sabretooth to Wolverine. Now, the funny thing is, this is issue number 10 of the Wolverine's comic book series that launched in like the late 80s. Because after Wolverine was so popular for all this time, he gets his solo book. Instead of like he got miniseries, but he gets finally a solo book, and that lasted for over 100 issues. And before they relaunched it, and even relaunched it, and now he's back, and they relaunched that again. So that's fine. Now the funny thing is that when I first heard about this, this is back then. Local comic book shops were starting to get popular, but not as popular as they are today. You still can find these on newsstands. It's like this right here is a newsstand version. This is a newsstand version because it has the barcode on it. And it's not in the best condition. Okay, it's not in the best condition, but it's found it. And the funny thing was, for years, when I tried to pick this up, they wanted, comic book shops wanted 30 to 40 to 50 bucks for this. And I got it for less than 20. Finally. So which means either the quality went down on this, or the value went down on this. And what happened was, even with Wolverine 50 of this series right here, was supposed to tie into actual origin of Wolverine, which kind of didn't, which gave us more questions. They suckered us to buying all these books, and they just let us down. And what happened? The value of this comic grew exponentially, like up to, I mean, some places wanted 70 to 80 bucks for this book. I finally got this. Finally got it. Now, for some reason, I guess I had my hands in so many different auctions and watch lists and whatever. I made a slight happy dilemma. This is the direct version of Wolverine 10 because it has Spider-Man on the bottom cover. This is the direct version. This is the newsstand version. This version of the book is a little bit more better condition and everything else, which is great. Now the thing is, for me to get both of these books, each under at least under 20 to 30 bucks, either one, this book went down in value, or something hasn't, or maybe the film version of Sabretooth was so horrible that it devalued these books. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really know, but it's kind of funny. A book that has been dogged me forever. And the funny thing was, when I was in college, I could have spent 50 bucks and picked up this book, but I didn't want to. I could have spent 400 bucks and got a Hulk 181 back then. I didn't want to. Now the funny thing was, now I'm thinking about this, and I was in my mid-20s, early to mid-20s. Now I'm in almost 50. I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should have spent that 500 bucks on that Hulk 151 like my friend did. At least I would have it right now. But anyway, that's all the comic book shit I got today and in the mail over the last couple of days. And I think I got maybe 2 to 3 more books coming. And so what's going to happen is, I'm going to, for the next week or so, I'm not going to put in any auctions. I'm going to unwatch everything. Monday I'm going to unwatch everything, or just about everything, so that way I know I don't do this again, this again. But anyway, now I'm thinking I should try my best to pick up all these Thors again. There's only on issue 7 because they relaunched it again. Another book they relaunched. But hey, I guess if you're the king of relaunch, and if it works for you, that's great. But the thing is, people like me who wants legacy, when we want legacy like this, we're never going to get it. But anyway, I guess it all depends on whoever owns this stuff. Now, since AT&T owns DC Comics, who knows what's going to happen? And since Disney owns Marvel, sometimes it's been a hit and sometimes it's been a miss. But anyway, that's my thoughts for today, based on the insane wackiness of my mind and the things that happened to me. And I was going to say something and it just didn't work out. So right now I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Friday. My mom's husband did have a procedure for his kidney stones, and about a couple weeks later he's going to have to go back. So he has had excessive bleeding because he takes blood thinners, and he's doing a lot better now. So he's not bleeding as much, which is good. Because I was kind of worried we might have to admit this guy, but since we didn't have to, he's still around somewhere. So with that, I'm gonna go. Might have to shave tonight because my face is itching. But anyway, let me know down below what you think. Let me know down below. Just want to say hi, just say hi. If you think I got some cool stuff, just say, hey, you got some cool stuff. You think I got ripped off? Let me know. If you think I got ripped off on that signature, thing is, since I never seen those signatures before, I'm guessing that's their signatures. Hopefully it is. If not, spent $10 on a book that's not really worth $10. But oh well. That's the kind. That's the deal. All right. Talk to you guys later.